Welcome to the haunting, poetic world of William Faulkner S. As I Lay Dying, one of the most powerful and daring novels of the 20th century. Published in 1930, this Southern Gothic masterpiece tells the story of a poor Mississippi family on a tragic, almost surreal journey to honor their mother's dying wish to be buried in her hometown of Jefferson. Told through 15 different narrators and 59 short chapters, the novel unfolds like a chorus of voices, each one whispering their own truth, their own pain, and their own madness. This isn't just a story about death. It's about family, pride, suffering, and the absurdity of life itself. So sit back as we journey into the heart of the American South, where dust, decay, and determination collide in As I Lay Dying. Our story begins in Yoknaputwa County, Mississippi. Faulkner's fictional southern landscape. In a small, run-down farmhouse, Addie Bunderin lies on her deathbed. Outside her window, her eldest son, Cash, is building her coffin, hammering boards together in a grim act of devotion. Each thud of his hammer is like a heartbeat counting down the final moments she has left. Her husband, Ans Bundoran, a lazy and self-pitying farmer, sits nearby, complaining about his ailments and his bad luck. Addie's other children, Duel, Duidel, and little Vardame move around the house, each carrying their own secrets and sorrows. Addie's dying wish is simple: to be buried in Jefferson, her hometown, 40 miles away. But in Faulkner's world, nothing is ever simple. The journey to Jefferson will test every bond, expose every flaw, and unravel the fragile fabric of the Bundoran family. Addie dies quietly as a storm brews on the horizon. Darl and Jewel are away on a delivery job, and by the time they return, the family has gathered around the crude coffin, cash bill tilted, uneven, and yet filled with a strange kind of love. As the rain pours down, they place her body in the box and prepare for the long, harrowing journey to Jefferson. But this trip isn't just about fulfilling a wish. It's about guilt, pride, and punishment. Each member of the Bundoran family has their own secret reason for going, and their own demons to face along the way. The Bundorans set off in their wagon, carrying Addie's coffin under the scorching Mississippi sun. The roads are flooded, the bridges are washed away, and the heat is unbearable. Their odyssey becomes both a physical and a spiritual, a grotesque pilgrimage through mud, fire, and madness. Let's meet each of them as they travel deeper into this nightmare. First, there's Darl Bunderan, the watchful eye. Darl, the second son, narrates much of the novel. He is thoughtful, poetic, and eerily aware, it's almost as if he can read minds. But Darl's insight comes at a cost. The more he sees, the more he unravels. He senses the decay of his mother's body, the secrets of his siblings, and the vast emptiness of the world around him. Darl becomes the novel's tragic prophet, and ultimately, its madman. Then there's Jewel, the silent fury. Jewel, Addie's favorite, is strong, proud, and full of a simmering anger. He rides his horse like a man possessed a horse he bought through his own hard labor, a symbol of his independence. Later, we learn the painful truth. Jewel is not Ans's son. He is the result of Addie's affair with the local preacher, Reverend Whitfield. Jewel's fiery devotion to his mother contrasts sharply with Ans's selfishness. When others talk, Jewel acts. He becomes the family's savior, again and again, pulling the wagon from floods, saving the coffin from fireall, while carrying his mother's memory like a burning wound. The journey only grows worse. They come to a river, swollen from heavy rain. The bridge is gone, yet Ants insists they must cross. As they drive the wagon into the rushing water, disaster strikes. The mules drown. The coffin nearly drifts away, and Cash breaks his leg. Through the mud and the current, it is Jewel who rescues the coffin, his mother's body, saved by his furious love. They make it to the other side, battered and soaked. But Addie's body continues to rot under the relentless heat. Buzzards begin to circle overhead, a grotesque reminder of death's constant presence. Even nature itself seems to mock their struggle. While the family battles the elements, Duidel, the only daughter, carries her own private torment. She is pregnant and desperate to find an abortion in Jefferson. Her thoughts are fragmented, her emotions raw. Faulkner writes her voice like a stream of pain, confusion, and guilt. Meanwhile, little Vardamon, the youngest, cannot understand death. He saw his mother's body placed in the box, and in his childish mind, he whispers one of the most famous lines in the novel. "My mother is a fish." It's absurd, yet heartbreaking, perfectly capturing how grief can distort reality. Midway through the novel, in one startling chapter, Addie Bundoran herself speaks from beyond the grave. In her monologue, we finally hear her truth, her hatred for her husband, Ants, her affair with Whitfield, and her deep disillusionment with life and with words themselves. She says she married Ants, not out of love, but to fill the emptiness she felt inside. Her children became her only means of feeling alive. To her, life was suffering, and death, perhaps, was a kind of release. Her voice echoes through the rest of the journey, haunting, accusatory, and unforgettable. As they neared Jefferson, chaos completely consumes the family. They stop at a neighbor's house to rest. Darrell, driven by his grief and his disgust at the decaying coffin, sets the barn on fire. He hopes to end the madness, to free them all. But Jewel, once again, rushes into the flames and drags out the coffin, saving his mother's body yet again. For this act, Darrell is branded insane. When they finally reach Jefferson, he is seized and taken away to an asylum, laughing as he goes, consumed by the irony and futility of it all. Finally, after 9 harrowing days, the Bondurants arrive in Jefferson. Addie is buried at last, though by now her body is in a grotesque state of decay. And then, in one of the most darkly comic endings in American literature, Ants announces he's getting married again almost immediately after the burial. He introduces the family to a new woman, a store clerk he just met, saying simply, "Meet Mrs. Bundoran." The absurdity is complete. Addie's long, tortured journey ends not in peace, but in the endless cycle of selfishness, need, and survival. As I Lay Dying is not just a story, it's a symphony of human voices. Each character speaks in broken thoughts, memories, and dreams, revealing the inner chaos of grief. It's a novel about the failure of communication, the struggle for meaning, and the thin line between sanity and madness. The Bondurans' journey to bury Addie becomes a dark mirror of the Odyssey, not heroic, but tragic, absurd, and deeply human. The novel's title, taken from Homer, suggests that even as one lies dying, the world goes unindifferent, unstoppable, and eternal. William Faulkner's As I Lay Dying is a masterpiece of modernist storytelling. Poetic and shockingly honest, it shows us how love and duty can twist into obsession, how death can expose the living, and how every family carries its own private madness. The Bondurans' journey through fire, flood, and rot is not just about carrying a body, it's about carrying the unbearable weight of being human. In the end, As I Lay Dying reminds us that even in chaos and decay, there is meaning in love, in endurance, and in the voices that refuse to be silenced. And that was As I Lay Dying by William Faulkner, haunting Southern epic of death, duty, and madness. If you enjoyed this deep dive storytelling, please like, subscribe, and share for more classic novel narrations. Next time, we'll journey into another timeless masterpiece. Until then, keep reading, keep feeling, and keep searching for meaning among the voices of the living and the dead.